Good morning, friends. Welcome to the concept of partnership. It's a very basic topic in arithmetics that is generally discussed after the concept of ratio and proportion. This topic is also useful in general life. The whole commerce system is based over the concept of partnership. That simply means when two or more persons agree to share the profit and losses of the business, that is said to be partnership. But from the point of view of the mathematics, here we are primarily concerned with how to divide the profit or what will be the profit sharing ratio, giving due importance to the time period for which the partner is in the business. Now, for understanding the concept of the partnership, we go it one by one. In this, some persons bring their money into the business, that is basically known as the capital. Suppose if I say there are two partners A and B, it is given that A brings rupees 10,000 in the business and B brings rupees 15,000 in the business, right? Now, first case that we are going to discuss here, when they are in the business for same time period. When they are in the business for same time period. By the term same time period, we mean that either it may be 1 year by both partners or it may be n number of years by both partners. It means the very day they started with the business, both partners were a part of the business and till end, right? The first point is when they are from the same time period, in that case, profit sharing ratio. In that case, profit sharing ratio is same as to ratio of their capital. So I can say here the ratio of the capital is 2:3. So we can say that profit sharing ratio is 2:3. That's the first case. The first case that I've discussed here, that when a few partners join for the same time period, in that case we can say that the profit sharing ratio is the ratio in which they were in the business with their capital. So here we can say the profit sharing ratio is the ratio of their capital, that is 2:3. For the second case, when they are not for same time period, when their time period is not same, when their time period is not same. Now, if I say that time period is not same, in that case, we have a very standard approach. Profit sharing ratio is always equal to capital invested into time. Capital invested into time. Right? Means if I just change my first question, two partners are there, they started their business. A was in the business for 1 year, whole 1 year, and B was in the business for 8 months. B was in the business for 8 months. Now at the end of the year, we have to find their profit sharing ratio. The question is, we have to find their profit sharing ratio. Now, A invested rupees 10,000, he was in the business for 1 year. 1 year means 12 months. And I know that profit sharing ratio is capital investment into time. It means capital investment into time, 10,000 into 12, that result in 1,20,000. Right? Similarly, for the partner B, he started the business with rupees 15,000 for 8 months. Here I can say 15,000 into 8, capital into time, you will get 1,20,000. Here I can say profit sharing ratio is finally said to be 1:1. I hope the idea is clear. What do you mean by this? Now we have understood two cases here. The first case tells me when the partners were in the business for same time periods, in that case their profit sharing ratio is same as to ratio of their capital. Second case, when they are in the business not for the same time period, in that case we can say profit sharing ratio is always equal to capital invested into time, right? Here I can say capital invested into time, that would be considered as this is the capital, this is the time, multiply these two and you get it as profit sharing ratio. Now some questions may be made over this. For example, these questions are very important for SSC and banking point of view because in multiple choice they are very good questions. As I earlier told you, profit sharing ratio is always equal to capital invested into time, right? It means now in the case of partnership we have three type of ratios. First is profit sharing ratio, ratio of their capital and ratio of their time periods. My first question is, there are three partners ABC. They started their business with an investment of ratio 1, ratio 2, ratio 3. That is the ratio of their capital investment. There are three partners. They started a business with the capital investment in the ratio 1, ratio 2, ratio 3. And the further time periods is given. Means A was in the business for 8 months, B was in the business for 12 months, and C was in the business for 6 months. That is stated to you. And we have to find out what is the profit sharing ratio. Now, if we have to find profit sharing ratio, what I can say, we know that profit sharing ratio is capital invested into time. It means all these are in the same structure, month, month and month. So multiply capital into time. 1 into 8, 8. 2 into 12, 24. 3 into 6, 18. Right? What I can take common from here? 4. That gives me 2 ratio 6 ratio 3. So here I can say profit sharing ratio is 2 ratio 6 ratio 3. I hope the idea is clear. Now after this we have next type of questions. For example, if I say the profit sharing ratio of 3 partners is given, this is equal to 3 ratio 2 ratio 1, and the time period is given for which they invested the money. A invested the money for 6 months, B invested the money for 8 months, C invested the money for 12 months. We have to find out what is the ratio of their capital investment. The question is, we have to find out what is the ratio of their capital investment. Now when I look at this statement, earlier I told you profit sharing ratio is always equal to capital investment into time. What do we know that? Profit sharing ratio is always equal to capital investment into time. That simply means if you have to find profit sharing, you require ratio of capital investment into time. On the other hand, suppose in this question I need capital invested, this is equal to profit sharing upon time. We can say capital invested is profit sharing upon time. This is my profit sharing ratio and this is the ratio of the time. So here I can say 3 upon 6 is to 2 upon 8 is to 1 upon 12. That would be taken as 1 by 2 is to 1 by 4 is to 1 upon 12. LCM is taken as 12. 6 ratio 3 ratio 1. I can say profit sharing ratio is said to be 6 ratio 3 ratio 1. That becomes my answer. So I can say the capital investment ratio is 6 ratio 3 ratio 1. That simply means out of the given 3 ratios, if you have any 2 ratios, with the help of those 2 ratios, you can easily find the third one. Right? Then we will understand a very important concept here. If between an year a new partner joins or a partner leaves something from the business or withdraws the money from the business, or we can say invest money in the business. So how to show the impact of that? For example, we can take an example here. Suppose there are 3 partners A, B and C. They started business on 1st of March. They started business on 1st of April. A invested rupees 10,000, B invested rupees 20,000 and C invested rupees 15,000. On 1st of October, A added 10,000 in the business, means he brings 10,000 more in the business. B withdraws 10,000 from the business. He withdraws. Withdraws means that money have to be subtracted. So B withdraws from the business rupees 10,000. C does not make any change. On 1st of January, A invested rupees 5,000 more. B does not make any change and C withdraws rupees 5,000. Means C withdraws rupees 5,000 from the business. Now on 31st March of that year, we have to find out what is the profit sharing ratio. The question is, on 31st March, we have to find out what is the profit sharing ratio. Now when we look at this question, In this question, we can easily see that if A starts from business in 1st of April, in meantime he changes his capital. Similarly, B and C both changes their capital during the year. Now, how to show the effect of that and how to finally find the profit sharing ratio. In this question also, we will apply the same thing. Profit sharing is always equal to capital invested into time. Our basic idea is same. We apply the concept of profit sharing is equal to capital invested into time. How we can show that effect? How we can show that effect? 1st of April, from 1st of April to 1st of October, how many months are there? 6. So we can say this 10,000 was in the business for 6 months. Multiply capital into time, you get it as 60,000. Right? Then on 1st of October, he invested rupees 10,000 more. Earlier in the business there was 10,000. Now you get 10,000 more. It means total money in the business now is rupees 20,000. Means starting from 1st of October, we can say total money in the business was rupees 20,000. Next, where he changes on 1st of January, means that is in the business for 3 months. Multiply this by 3 and you get 20,000 into 3, you get 60,000. Then on 1st January, he increases his capital by 5,000. It means the new capital now becomes equal to 25,000. And for how much time it is? It is for 3 months. Multiply by 3, you get it as 75. Okay. Now for finding the profit sharing ratio, I will add all these numbers. We get it as 60 plus 60, 120 and 75, 195. That is for A. Similarly, when we consider the B started on 1st of April. On 1st October, he changes. How many months are there? 6. Multiply this by 6 and you get your value as 1,20,000. Okay. Then on 1st October, he withdraws 10,000. It means from 20,000, 10,000 is subtracted. How much is left now? 10,000. Now this 10,000 in the business for 6 months. Multiplied by 6. That result in 60,000. 120 plus 60, you get it as 180. So I can say this value is said to be 180. Now when we talk about for C started on 1st of April. From 1st of April to 1st of January, how many months are there? 9. Multiply this value by 9 and you get it as 1,35,000. On 1st January, he withdraws 5,000. It means now in the business there was rupees 10,000. Because that have to be subtracted from here and you get it as 10,000. Now how much month is left? 3. Multiplied by 3, you get the value to be 30,000. Okay. Add both. Your share is 1,65,000. I hope the idea is clear. Now just take the ratio of this. This is said to be profit sharing ratio. This will be cancelled out. Right. And we can also say 5 can also be cancelled. So that will give me 5, 3, 15, 5, 9, 39, similarly 36, and similarly here I can say 5, 3, 5, 3, 13, or else I can say 3 would also be taken as common, 13 ratio 12 ratio 11, that is their profit sharing ratio at the end of the given time period. That becomes your answer. This question simply tells us, in case a partner joins in between or withdraws, or he invests some money in the business during the year or withdraws the money from the business during the year, in that case, how to deal with it? Concept is very simple. We have to just take care of for how long, for the time period for which he was in the business. For example, for A, 1st April to 1st October, 6 months, then it is 3 months, multiply this by 3, add all the values, you get your value to be 1,95,000. Similarly, when we talk for B, 1st April 20,000, 1st April to October, 6 months, 120, then we draw 10,000, you are being left with 10,000 into 6, 60, sum is 180, and apply the process, you will find it as 195 is to 180 is to 165, or finally you can say 13 ratio 12 ratio 11. This is the profit sharing ratio. I hope the idea is clear. By this you are in a position to find the profit sharing ratio. In this chapter of partnership, one thing also to be taken care of, sometimes a partner is given a salary. That's the concept of salary to a partner. Salary to a partner. Now, how to deal with this concept when a partner is given a salary? For example, there are two partners, A and B. They started their business with 15,000 and 20,000. A was in the business for 8 months and B was in the business for 12 months. B was paid at a salary of at the rate of rupees 200 per month. At end of the year, they get rupees 20,000 as total profit. We have to find how much money will A get and how much money will B get, right? Now when we look at this question, first of all we have to find the profit sharing ratio. That's very simple for us. That is capital investment into time. This is 15,000, this is 8,000. So we can multiply 15,000 into 8,000. That gives me 120, 1,20,000. Similarly, this is 20,000 into 12,000. That results me 2,40,000. Now when I solve it, I get my profit sharing ratio is 1:2. Okay. Now after that, we know that in the question there was a profit of 20,000 and B was given a monthly salary of rupees 200 per month. It means B was paid a total salary of rupees 2,400. Now how much profit is left? That is 17,600. Now this 17,600 is the profit that have to be divided between A and B, right? Just try to check out it again what I have done. For finding the profit sharing ratio, our concept remains the same. Same thing we have to apply. After we find the profit sharing ratio, the next thing that we do, if a partner is being paid a salary per month, that salary has to be subtracted from the total profit. This is 20,000 minus 2,400. You will get it as 17,600. Now after this, we have to divide this 17,600 in the ratio of 1:2. If I have to find the share of A, my answer is 17,600 into 1/3. If I have to find the share of B, 17,600 into 2/3. That's the share of B. B is also getting a salary of 2,400. The final answer is the addition of these two. That is the total income of B from the business. So this is the effect of showing the impact of salary given to a partner.